G'day, my name is Wes Leake from Business Blessings, and today I have the honour of being with Darryl Severn from Darbeth. And Business Blessings is on about encouraging people, networking people, training people. So today I'm interviewing Darryl because, Darryl, you've got quite a history in working with both large and small organisations. So today I'm interviewing Darryl because, Darryl, you've got quite a history in working with both large and small organisations, particularly in the technical field.
Yeah.
So tell me just a summary about your background, because I know it's some quite large organisations that most of us will know the name of very well.
Yeah, well, I did work in corporations. I started mucking around with computers back in the 70s when most people didn't hear about them, and ended up talking about groups such as Fujitsu. IBM was working with them for clients like the Australian Defence Forces. You might recognise them. Telstra, you might recognise that name as well. Alpha Pharmaceuticals is another group that I've done some work with. So there's one or two names in there people might recognise.
I think most people would do that. It's important too that you've been with us from the beginning, the technological change from computers from the beginning, and that really helps you to understand what's actually happening now as well, doesn't it?
Yes. I mean, the first time that I worked on a computer, we had this punch card.
Yes.
We punched
I
everything.
do remember those.
Today we've got more grunt but we have more processing power in most people's phones than what we had in the mainframes back when I started.
So that's really incredible to think about what we can do today on the little things that we carry around in our pockets.
Yes, yeah. And that's not only just changed the power of computing, but it's also changed the way that people work completely. You go to a shop these days and the power goes off, the computers go off and everybody turns around. What do? Because we are now so involved in it and it's so intertwined with our everyday life that digital technology we just can't get rid of.
It's part of our lives. It's part of the way we shop, part of the way we work, how things are processed, how we interrelate with other people.
Yeah. I'm particularly interested in the way that businesses work together. As you were pointing out, I've done a lot of work in larger organisations. My family has a background in smaller businesses, the one-man tradie, that sort of thing. So I understand both ends of the spectrum. But I also went through the GFC and the downsizings of the 90s and the 2000s. And one thing that I now realise when I look back on all of that pain is that the economics have now changed. We have different rules. And whereas a generation ago, things were definitely the domain of the large corporations, these days the economic rules are in favour of small companies working together.
The research around the world is the small SMEs that actually change a nation. So some people are focused on the micro enterprises, mum and dad, just working for themselves really without employing others, to the larger organisations. We do have obviously some larger organisations that affect our everyday lives. If Google went down, or heaven's sakes, if Facebook stopped working, we'd be in a lot of trouble. But in essence, what really runs an economy is that the small and medium-sized enterprises in terms of making the economy work.
Yeah, there's no doubt 90% of the businesses in Australia fit into the SME category. Yes, 90%.
So which is now really where you're specialising in that market. But so those guys now need to talk to bigger corporations, they need to talk to health bodies, they need to talk to government, they need to talk to each other.
Yes.
So what are you seeing that's growing and developing in that area?